This is another one that's taken me some time to get to. I've had a lot of requests for it, but this is going to be my review of Quentin Tarantino's 2019 film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And this time, watching a Tarantino film for the first time, and I loved it. I did mention in my review for Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven that I've been watching this film with my cousin Anne and my wife in here, actually, Suzanne. And whilst the girls, I don't think, like the film that much, or they didn't get it the way I did, I felt there was something special about this. And the sort of American similarities to Last Night in Soho really appealed to me. To see Hollywood done up like it was in 1969 just had a magic to it and drew me into the story. Now, it had a budget of $90 million and it grossed at the worldwide box office $378 million, so a big success for Mr. Tarantino. It has a running time of 2 hours and 41 minutes, an aspect ratio approximately 2.40 to 1, but with a few other aspect ratios, 133 to 1, denoting mock television shows, and I believe a 185 to 1 in here somewhere for another film that's screened within this film, because this is about the Hollywood movie industry back in 1969. So it's got a lot of references back, and the way some of these films and these television shows have been reworked to actually put our stars of today into them makes it feel even more special than it already is. It's something that just works within this. And the budget, $90 million, when I was watching it, I said to Suzanne and Anne, this must have cost a fortune, because they reworked a great lot of Hollywood Boulevard to look just like it did. All those neon signs and those facades, everything that had to be put up just so Brad Pitt could go driving along it as it was back in those great days. So really quite special for many reasons for any film fans out there. There's a lot of bad language in it, as you would expect. It is a Tarantino film after all, and there's quite some violence towards the end, but by the time we got to that, it had been set up so well, it almost been telegraphed what was going to happen. I found it all quite funny. So, as I said in the Unforgiven review when I trailered this might be coming, I seem to be getting into the Tarantino violence is funny vibe. The basic premise of the story has a couple of fictional characters, or at least I hope they're fictional, played by Leonardo, DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, in among some real-life characters who existed or still exist today, and based around the story of what happened between the Manson family and the murder of Sharon Tate and her friends. I won't say any more about that other than it doesn't end quite the same way, and I think that's one of the reasons you really get behind the two fictional characters and you're pleased with the violence of the ending. At least that's my take on it, and I suppose that's why I enjoyed it so much. I didn't know much, if anything, about the Sharon Tate murder, so that all passed me by, but I have watched this film twice and enjoyed it even more on the second viewing. So perhaps if you were like me, you didn't know about that side of it and you didn't quite get what was going on in this film, a second viewing, now you do know the basics of it, maybe look up on the internet, on the web, about the Sharon Tate murder, and you'll be fully ready to enjoy Once Upon a Time in Hollywood the second time around. Now, this film on video here, on this 4K video disc, has got a very fine-grained look to it, and full-frame anamorphic 35mm was used, which gives the top quality from 35mm, apart from VistaVision, but that's another story. But that's why it shrinks down so well to this 4K disc and looks so good. But there is also 16mm in here and Super 8, and that's to denote the television programs and the mock-up of home movie footage that one of the stars or several of the stars have shot that's included within this film. But it's a great looking film overall. I wouldn't say it's one of the best 4K discs you're going to see, but it is very good. Has come from 35mm and it's a very good 35mm, and that's all I can really say about that. The sound is very good, complements the imagery on screen perfectly, as you would expect from a Quentin Tarantino film. Overall, a very good package. And Doesn't have all the extras on the 4K. The 4K is a new disc. It doesn't seem to bear any relation to the Blu-ray. Got a different menu structure. Got 7.1 sound on the 4K DTS-HD and 5.1 on the Blu-ray, I believe. But you have to put the Blu-ray in to watch all the extra featurettes. I've been through them all a couple of times, found them very interesting, particularly how they did that reproduction of Hollywood Boulevard back in 1969. So there we are, quite an easy one to review this because it's just so good. I don't think anyone could possibly be disappointed with it. Someone liked the story, someone liked the violence, the bad language, but overall I think this is another excellent representation of the 4K format. It's superior to the Blu-ray, which has got a sort of exaggerated colour look, an unrealistic sort of colour look to it. And a couple of times I viewed it, I did put the Blu-ray in again and go backwards and forwards, and the Blu-ray just looked inferior in every respect. There will probably be sequences in it where the Blu-ray might have the edge, but the 4K is just superior, and this is why we collect 4K discs and we spend the extra money on them. Just like having your own 35mm print so very often, and this is another one of those. So I think that brings us to the end. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and perhaps consider subscribing so I'll be encouraged to carry on creating content like this. Till the next video, whatever it may be, bye bye for now.